five elements: earth, water, air, fire, sky, hold secret for you. It seems to be very ridiculous. It seems to be puzzling. It seems to be esoteric wisdom of spirituality. It seems to be metaphor, a poetry, but it is not so. This knowledge is gaining momentum in the scientific department. In 2014, UNESCO UNESCO hosted a meeting on this knowledge of ancient wisdom. And Lao Montesquieu got Nobel Award for discovering this knowledge that five elements keeping all the secrets of past, present, and future of human civilization. To that extent, scientific understanding proceeding. Everything happened in the human civilization compiled in these five elements. The knowledge written in spiritual scriptures may be wrong, sometimes may be wrong, because scriptures are written by human being, man, and human being can do some mistakes. But five elements cannot do any mistake because the every actions, emotions, feelings, words of human being are compiled by the existence itself, and existence cannot do any mistake. I am telling you, we are here and we are getting the BBC news. We are listening the BBC news. How it is possible? When BBC telecast or broadcast the news, we get it here in India after 5-6 seconds, after 3-4 seconds. Where was the sound in that 3-4 second? Can you tell me? It was in the folds of air. Suppose here is a radio. I just played this radio. Suppose here is a radio. I am playing that radio, and I will start getting the sound, the music. From where I am getting the music or sounds, because that sounds are here recorded in the folds of air. That's why the radio instrument is detecting it. If I stop the radio, still the sounds are here, right? So there are the possibilities that in future science will develop some instrument which will get the original voice of Lord Krishna, Lord Buddha, Lord Mahavira, maybe. But it is in the future. We don't need it. Our ancient sages, Muni Rishis, had that kind of mind who could get the information from the water, from the air, from the five elements. And all that things they have written in the pages of spiritual scriptures. That's why you will see how all the maximum, most of the Hindu temples are built on the bank of the rivers, or maximum, most of the temples of Jains are built on the top of the hills, because they hide their secret in the stone of the hill, in the water of the rivers. But we, the pilgrims, keep going to the pilgrimage site without understanding all that things. We gather on the confluence of three rivers and host a party, a fair, many unwanted things on the confluence of the rivers. There is no point to going to pilgrimage site without understanding the deeper realms of the five elements. There is no point. We, the human being, has the capability to decode the information hidden in the water, in the air, in the earth. We have. Bodhi tree and Niranjana river can tell you what Gautam Buddha did under the shadow of the Bodhi tree, what he told in his first sermon. You can see how Gautam Buddha walked on this planet. You can see the dance of Krishna in your own eyes, that original dance of Lord Krishna, you can still see because it is compiled in the nature. That kind of possibilities coming. But for that, we have to achieve the mastery of our inner senses. Your outer senses are very active, but that outer senses are acting as a stumbling block in the understanding of that tremendous possibilities of five elements. But the day you achieve the mastery on your inner senses, that day you can see, you can hear the dance of Lord Krishna, the original preaching of Lord Krishna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Just you have to achieve the mastery of your inner senses. And mastery of inner senses comes in the state of no mind. Mark that word. In the state of no mind. In the states of no thoughts. In the absence of your mind, you can get the mastery of your inner senses. And then paying attention to the point of Lord Krishna preaching in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, you will start getting that original sound of Lord Krishna. Yes, possibilities are there. You cannot avoid, you cannot neglect by saying these all this kind of nothing but a dogma, a rubbish things. You cannot see, cannot tell like this now. As per as the scientific proceeding, UNESCO's proceedings, UNESCO. I am telling you, with the reference of UNESCO, and a scientist got the Nobel Award for that, discovering that immense possibilities and informations hidden in the five elements. Now you cannot say like that. I myself experienced this thing in my journey of Himalaya. I wrote it in my books, which is going to be published very soon. I got many information from the confluence of the three rivers, Ganga, Jamuna. I got many information from from Himalaya itself. But it is not good to tell about myself. It is not good. That's why I wrote it in the book, and I am not anything about it, about my own thing, about my own experience. It sounds little bad. I am telling about myself. No. Again, I am repeating that line. In the absence of your own mind, in the domain of no mind, in the domain of no thoughts. It may be for 1 hour, it may be for 3 hours, it may be for half hour, half an hour. You can get, you can listen the original music of Lord Krishna, original voice of Lord Krishna. Our spiritual tradition is very rich. Devotee Hanuman wrote the name of Lord Rama on the stone, and stone started floating on the river. In the childhood time, we used to say that is rubbish. What Nani is saying, right? Consort of Rama, that means Sitama, told river, you are the witness of my tragedy. Told the hill, mountain, you are the witness of my tragedy. It has significance. Now it has significance. Now I am telling you a truth, a scientific experiment conducted by scientist Lou Mansotti, whatever like this. Lou Mansotti, who got the Nobel Award for discovering that wonderful thing and got the Nobel Award. I am telling you a very simple experiment conducted by him. If you hold a glass of water, fresh water, with some bad intention, with some bad feeling, then the molecular structure, the atomic structure of the water will be very beautiful. If you are holding a glass of fresh water with a good feeling and good intention, then the atomic structures, molecular structures of this water will be very beautiful, like a flower, like a petals. But if you are holding a glass of fresh water with a bad intention or bad feeling, then the molecular arrangement, atomic structures becomes very uneven, becomes very odd, becomes very ugly. Very simple experiments he conducted to show the public. From 2014 to till now, there are lots of experiments are being conducted on the Department of Scientific Understanding. UNESCO and other forums are hosting lots of meeting about on that. I think some of you are aware of that, but this is the truth. So, my dear friends, transcend your mind, transcend your gross mind, your gross perception, your gross senses, sensory organs, and make them very subtle and establish your mind in the field of transcendental consciousness, the infinite, the field of infinite possibilities. From that level, your mind can see past, present, and future. And that is the same thing Gautam Buddha and Mahavir and other ancient saints used to do. They used to see their past, present, future, their past incarnation, their future incarnation, they saw in their own eyes. So now it is the privilege of everybody. 2000 years back, it was the privilege of only the saints and munirasis. Now it is the privilege of anybody, those who can devote and spend their time in the understanding of the miracle of the five elements. So, my dear friends, again I am telling you, transcend your mind and establish your mind in the field of transcendental consciousness. Thank you.